Hello YouTube, this is Joe from Crazy Beer Beer Review. And yes, again today, this is the second review today, I have another hoppy beer to try today. This is a good one, and most everybody out there is going to know this brewery. I've tried to warm this one up, but it's about 45 degrees outside, and it just doesn't want to warm up. So, we're going to do it anyway. So, this is Fresh Squeezed IPA by Deschutes Brewery. And information on the back, independent label, stuff I'll read in a bit. This is a 6.4, truck went by, let it go by, 6.4% ABV, 60 IBUs. Now what they say is impossibly juicy, undeniably refreshing, fresh squeezed. No fruit was harmed in the making of this beer. I do like they have a good sense of humor. It's family owned and operated since 1988. And I do got old man glasses on. I just haven't got used to using them. And it says fresh within 4 months, and this was canned on 11/4/21, so we're within the 4-month thing. I don't really see anything else. I'm going to roll the can because they do say, where did they say that at? Okay, live yeast added to the can allows the beer to age gracefully and stay fresh longer. So I'm only going to roll it slightly because if it's live yeast and it re-fermented in the can isn't really that hard. That was a nice opening. A little smoke on the opening, but you wouldn't have seen that because of my background. And let's get this beer in a glass. What are we going to get with this one? I think we're going to get a West Coast style IPA out of this one, which I'm really excited about. There's a little left in the can. And this is what I'm getting. Oh, see, you're getting a far darker beer than I'm getting. Well, not far darker, I guess. It is darker, though, than what I'm seeing. I'm getting... I'll hold it up here, I guess. I'm getting light through the bottom. Can't see my fingers through it. But this isn't a haze boy, or at least not a complete haze boy. And at 60 IBUs, I'm guessing it is going to be a bit more of a juicy West Coast. It's got a finger, if your fingers are as small as mine, but a finger of off-white head. We got small, compact bubbles, middle-sized bubbles, big bubbles. I can't really see no carbonation going through the glass. So it looks pretty still, but it's holding its head well, which is important with a beer. The head stays with these kind of beers. So let's get a sniffer on this little bad boy. I'm going to try swirl on it. Okay, that's a little better. I'm getting fruit. I'm getting some malts. Like a rich, like sweet malty flavor. Trying to figure out what I'm getting out of it hoppy wise. Okay, that's what I'm trying to figure. It's not citrus. Citrus is not a citrus bomb like the beer previous I did earlier today. But citrus on the top stayed there with the taste, the smell there to the end, to the very last drop. This one, I'm not getting citrus, and it doesn't say what hops. I might get more when I pour the rest in the can. I'm all for all the beer to be in the can before I take a sip. So let's get all the beer in the can. Let's swirl it around because they did say yeast on the bottom. Let's see if it hazes up a bit. Ooh, ooh. Oh. You know, I think it might have hazed up a slight bit. But it just basically looks a little darker on your end. That's quite the head on that, though, so I'm going to have to take a first sip like this. And of course, my mustache is too long and needs to be trimmed. swear my mustache drinks about half the beer I drink. Which is probably a good thing because I drink a lot of beer. What am I getting out of this? I'm getting a hop residue on the after palate. After I've drank it, I've got the initial sweetness is gone. It starts sweet and then slowly gets bitter. I'm still not able to pick out any. They say they say impossibly juicy. I would say it's juicy. I just can't tell you at this moment what juices I'm tasting. Maybe a little citrus. One thing this beer isn't lacking is carbonation. I'm getting a slight alcohol taste to this beer. And this is, what is it, 6.9 or 6.4%. You know, I think with an IPA at 6.4%, I think I would expect the alcohol to be hitting it a little bit more than that. It doesn't distract from the beer. The beer's still good. I like alcohol in my beer. Don't get me wrong. This is not a knock on the beer. This is Deschutes Brewing. I don't know if I did mention it was Deschutes Brewing. I hope I did. It's their fresh squeezed IPA. And, you know, they show you squeezing a hop, which I love the hop plant. That's awesome. I've never had a bad beer from these guys. This is not a bad beer. They make better beers than this. Right off the bat, I can say that for a fact. But, you know, for me, they're readily available. I can get, you know, probably 6 or 7 different different beers from these guys on a regular basis without actually having to go to Oregon to get it. I could go to Oregon, or not Oregon. This isn't an Oregon. Is this an Oregon beer? Am I wrong? I thought it was Oregon. Where the hell is that? What do they say? I know they say somewhere. Yeah, Bend, Oregon. I mean, I've never been to Bend, Oregon. Bend, Oregon's a little farther than Oregon I've gone, but it wouldn't be all that hard to get there. And it's actually one of the key places I want to go because of all the breweries that are in that area. So I'm going to eventually go there. And so I'll try this on the tap and then probably make my final decision off the tap. But I like it. It's not bad. It's definitely a fruity IPA. Let's see. I'm going to turn that over. And yes, I was using that for a beer mat. A coaster. I'm getting like they're saying. I'm getting the fruity. I'm definitely getting hop smell. It's like it's kind of stings your nose a little bit. I'm not getting alcohol on the smell. Like I'm getting a little bit on the taste. It's not bad. It's just letting me know that this isn't a 5.4 porch beer crusher. Fine. I wasn't expecting it to be. The last beer I drank before this, the video before this one, I talked about it being one I could drink 4 or 5 beers in a row. On this one, yeah, I could probably do 2 or 3 before I'd want something different to taste. It attacks the palate like right here. It starts when it hits your tongue. You get, I don't know if it's because you're smelling and drinking at the same time. You get that fruity hit right off the bat, and then halfway across the tongue, you start getting this bitter, this like if you've ever drank tea. Okay, for tea has this. They call it tannins. I think they call it tannins, but you get the initial taste of the tea or whatever blend tea, and I'm a big tea guy. But every tea has its that taste. You first initially taste it, and then once it gets halfway through the palate, you start getting the astringency, the stuff that, lets you know what you're drinking. And that's how this beer is. When I first take a sip, First sip is sweet. The carbonation hits. It's high carbonated for not looking like it is, but it is. It like fills your mouth up, makes you think you're drinking a mid-bodied beer when it's probably high end of light body, low end of mid body, but it ups the body, okay? Moves the beer around your face a little bit, and then bam, the bitterness comes in. And it's 60 IBUs, so, that's what you expect. When I first started drinking craft beer, I hated IPAs. Couldn't stand them. Couldn't stand them. Started in the pale ale range. Got used to them. My palate got used to the hops. I started enjoying them. So I bought an IPA. Love them. Double IPAs, if done right, are good. Triple IPAs, that's where you start to lose me because you can't really hide alcohol on a triple IPA. But I don't mind. I mean, like for me, a stout, like a 12 or 10 or 11, 12 Imperial Stout, I expect alcohol, and it doesn't bother me. An old ale, I expect alcohol. It doesn't bother me. Winter warmer, I expect alcohol. It doesn't bother me. Those are all sipping beers. Those are all beers you kick back with a cigar or a pipe and enjoy your beer. This is just showing a tad too much alcohol for my taste. At 6.4%, they should be able to, with all the hops and the malts and the stuff they use and the brewing techniques they have, they should be able to hide the beer or to hide the alcohol a little better. But with that being said, this is a top-notch beer. Would I recommend it? Yes. You have to been old school craft beer drinker, I think, really, or a West Coast guy to appreciate this beer for what it is. This beer is what it is, because out on the West Coast, everybody out here loves the hazy IPAs. I mean, everybody makes a hazy IPA. You can't throw a rock without hitting a brewery that makes a hazy IPA. This is, and if you look at it, it's not clear. It's not haze either, though. It's chill haze mainly, and it's haze. It's not clean and clear, like say a Torpedo, or the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, or Lagunitas' IPA. It's not clear like those beers, but it has a lot of that heritage in it, with a little bit of the New England haze, the fruity. So what you're getting with this beer is fruity and hops. You're getting a best, or at least parts of both worlds. Would I rather it just be hoppy, malty, alcohol-y? To be honest with you, no. Would I want it to be just fruits? No, I wouldn't want it to be just fruits. I want to know I'm drinking a beer. This lets me know I'm drinking a beer. I get the hops, I get the malts, I do get the fruitiness. But all in all, I'm going to go down to my normal statement. This video is longer than I've done in a while, so I'm going to cut this off as quick as I can. But would I recommend this beer? Yes, try it. If you're new school, try to emphasize your taste, or try to focus your taste on the fruity end. Let the bitterness work its magic. If you're a bitter guy and you love the bitterness of the hoppy beers, let the fruitiness work its magic. Give it a shot. It might not be for everybody, and it might not convince this side and that side that they should try other sides, but this is a good in-between beer. This is a good in-between beer between a hazy IPA, fruity, 15 to 20 IBUs, to a beer that's 60 IBUs, which back in the day was not hoppy. Back in the day, the hoppy beers were like 80 and 90 IBUs. They really just wrecked your whole fucking palate. You drank one and you're like, give me a Pilsner so I can clean my palate and try something different. No, with this, I say it's good. So what I'm going to say today, or what I'm going to end this with, and I'm very new to this stuff, so I'm very much an amateur. I do enjoy drinking my beers and talking about them, and you're who I talk to about them because nobody else wants to hear what the hell that old man has to say sitting on his goddamn porch drinking a fucking overpriced beer. But hey, cheers. And see you in the next beer review. May you enjoy a good beer. or any beer for that matter. It don't matter. Sit back and enjoy.